Hello, this is Joseph and Train, and welcome to a new episode of Home of Sound. Home of Sound is the virtual and global home for any music lover to connect, learn, and engage with the electronic music community. We started the platform with this very podcast series to discover and share insights into the life, work, and tools of producers, DJs, VJs, promoters, label owners, playlist curators, and other creators. Since the global pandemic hit, we launched a series of online masterclasses with creators such as Ansom, Scarameria, Francois X, Swarm Intelligence, Freddie K, Face Fatal, Vijay Martinovna, Malika Maria, Lag, VSK, Romek, Manny D, Arjun Bagale, and many, many more. If you're interested in the masterclasses, you can access any of them, also in bundles, on demand at www.homeofsound.co.uk. To say hi, connect with us, suggest new guests, leave feedback, and see what else we're up to, you can find us on Instagram at home_of_sound. And for all the other links, visit linktr.ee/home_of_sound. And now, let's start with today's guest. Enjoy. We can start. Irakli, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for inviting, and finally, nice to meet you. I'm really,
nice to meet you.
Yeah, I told you, but told it again. I'm really big fan of this program and these interviews, and I already watch it.
Thank you, and it was great to see you also yesterday. We had a masterclass with VSK.
It was really super good masterclass, and I really enjoyed. And cheers to VSK, and thanks for it.
Oh yeah, pleasure. Our pleasure to have you. I personally love Francesco's music, and it was good to see so many people interested in you as well. It was very cool. And so let's start with. Let me ask you a couple of questions.
For sure.
For people who don't know you yet, and if someone meets you at a house party and they ask you, "Who are you and what do you do?" How would you answer the question?
Oh, good question. To be honest, it's a really rare case me at house party, because I never go at house parties and at other parties too. So I never told to people what I'm a DJ or producer or something like this. I always tell them I'm just Irakli, nice to meet you, and I make music, or I'm a freelance photographer or something like this,
Yeah.
But I really try to remember when I was at house party last time, and I really don't remember it. I prefer to sitting at home and making music.
Yeah, and I when I was digging into your work, I also found out that you are interested in art, and you said you're a photographer as well. Tell us more about what you do outside of music. You do photos, you studied fashion as well.
I take photos since 12 years, for big time, and now I make just music, because it's need a lot of time to work with it. And every time I work with music, so I wake up and I'm starting to patching and modular or working on some other projects, and I don't have enough time to work with photography or the fashion. I studied the fashion 3-4 years ago, and I'm still big fan of this industry, and I want to continue it in the future, but now I have only music.
Got it. And for background, so you studied fashion and then you decided to continue just with music, so you dropped fashion. And tell us a bit more about your day to days these days. So you wake up and
music. The first thing what I'm doing, so I'm smoking 2 cigarettes and drink a cup of cola. And after I'm starting to make music, really, it's my day. I never go out of my home. I'm really sitting and walking. Sometimes it's a little bit boring, but it's all what I need, really.
It's the artist path.
Maybe.
Were you doing the same thing before the pandemic? So before the coronavirus, were you still doing waking up and doing music every day?
Nothing is changing for me, really. Yeah. The same situation is here. I'm still home. Yeah, I'm still making music.
That's it's one of the
That's funny, yeah. I know.
it is nice, but like it is one of the good things about the I mean, if there is any good thing about the pandemic is that we also have more time for us. So for me, certainly, like I have more time to make music, and it's good to know that for you, it's like fuck it, I just do music, whatever happens, that's how work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and let's talk about a bit more about your history, your path. You were born in
Yes.
Batumi, Georgia.
Yeah.
And you moved to Ukraine for a bit, and now you're back in Georgia. What do you remember about your young age that, when you think about it, still gives you a lot of goosebumps, or it's a good memory for you?
Good memories. So yeah, I was born in Batumi, in the west side of the Georgia, around the sea, and I have a little bit strange childhood, I think, and I don't want to talk about it. I remember a really good period of my life in Ukraine, in Kiev. I remember a lot of the amazing parties and a lot of great moments. And I studied there, and after I back in Tbilisi, I started to work on music. And yeah, I'm still here, but I can talk with some concrete moment, but I had a lot of the moments when I have some goosebumps. So sometimes it's just when I listening to some good music, and I remember one of track like this. It's a second mistake of Aya. It's released on the Pan label, and I'm really big fan to close my sets with this track. It's really amazing ambient track, and yeah, I think the most beautiful moments in my life are connected with music.
That's super interesting. And so the track is Second Mistake, if I heard.
Yeah, by Aya.
Yeah. Okay, we'll put it in the show notes for people to.
Oh yeah.
To find it super interesting. And so one of the things that I've read in your previous interviews is that you became at some point resident of KHIDI, and for you was a special, very special thing because you're Georgian, you were in Tbilisi, and for you that club was always meant something special. Do you remember a couple of the first nights when you were there?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I remember it. I can forget it. I was 18 or 19, I don't remember. And one of my friends invited me to play in the KHIDI, in the small room of the KHIDI. It's called G2. And I was prepared too good. I trained in the studio like 12 hours.
Wow.
And yeah, and I made my set. And after, when they invited me to be a resident in the club, and I was so happy, it's one of the biggest club in Tbilisi.
Yeah.
And I remember another moment when I played at the main floor and the big floor with a lot of the people at the dance floor, and it's really very amazing moment. I'm big fan of this club, and I want to say thanks to everyone. And yeah, it's a little bit hard to be a resident in such a big club,
Yeah.
Because when you play every time, 2 times in a month, and you want to offer something new to our listeners, and it's it's little hard, because comes the same listener, and we don't have so much good music in industry, I think, to play a lot of the
Yeah. And it's interesting, like, is there any specific way you find new music or fresh music? So let's say you're playing twice in a month in KHIDI.
Yeah.
How do you prepare for your set?
I always preparing my sets every time. So when I'm free, I'm working on the set. I make some combos of another tracks, and all my set is prepared. So I have a lot of friends in industry. I think, and when send me a lot of the great stuff, a lot of amazing material. A lot of the young artists make a good music nowadays. The artists like Alex Morgan, amazing artist from the Manchester, Decoder, Quetzal from France, Assumption, yeah. And I'm collecting a new fresh music, unreleased stuff, and sometimes I'm also looking from the old stuff what sounds fresh today, you know.
Yes. Yeah. Is there
And
any
also
oh, go ahead, sorry.
and also I'm making my own stuff for sets, you know. When I'm playing, I'm sitting at home and finishing some tracks just to play it on in the DJ set.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some questions that I want to ask you about your live set as well, your production. But
Yeah.
before that, so you mentioned sometimes you go back in the past, which I always find it interesting because sometimes it's fresh. Like when you go to past music or very old music, it's still very fresh, especially for people who
for sure
experience that. Yeah. Do you have any label, any artist that you look up to? I know you mentioned a new vinyl that you're getting now, but any favorite labels, anything you dig into?
Old labels or news?
Old labels or old releases.
Old releases. So I got today an old vinyl by Oscar Mulero with Sajon and Lochte Brother remix, and it sounds so fresh. And also Jeff Mills, very futuristic sounds. And I think the techno, it's a sound of the future, you know, and many artists are still making music of the future, and it will be fresh in the 10 years. Yeah. But one of the favorite label, it's a Warm Up Records, definitely. Also old releases and new, Axis Records, so good. Yeah, and also Arms.
Yeah.
Arms label, yeah.
Arms, that is from I think I've come across them as well.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay. Anyways, I mean, yeah, that's super interesting. And there's a label that for me is like timeless almost. Yeah, there's a label by Basmoy and Jérôme Libregard.
Oh, really? Really?
You know, it's called. I'll come back to mine, but it made me think when you say these names, it made me think of the label too. It's very old, but like when you play tracks from that label, they still sound very
fresh.
Fresh, yes. And one question about KHIDI. So you played the Boiler Room about a year and a half ago. So it was March 2019, something like this.
Yeah.
How did you remember how you felt before the gig?
Yeah, sure. Before I was a little bit nervous, I think, but this ends after first beat. Yeah. But you know, it was really special gig for me, I think, at this moment. But it wasn't a special preparing for this gig because, yeah, I have a special preparing for every my set, and I'm trying to do it better when my last set, you know. Every time when I'm playing a new set, I'm trying to do it better than my last.
When you say preparing, like, do you practice at home, I imagine?
So I'm practicing at studio, sometimes at home, and I'm build the sets, you know. I always build my music. I'm starting it at point A and going to a point B, you know, and I'm really very concentrate on the dynamic of the music and the dynamic on the whole set, and I'm trying to mix the lows and kicks and bass lines as well. Yeah, it's my preparing. Yeah.
Got it. And one thing you mentioned before was that now you also put your tracks inside the sets. And is that the way you started playing live? Because I think live for you came after playing DJ sets, if I'm right.
Yeah, I start the live set of the DJ sets, but it was very spontaneous, you know. It was the summer. I remember this. It was the end of the August, I think. I was at very bad mood. I was a little bit depressed, I think.
Yeah.
And I write to my friend, so I wanna make a live set. he says, yeah, do it. And I'm started to prepare it, and I prepared it in 2 weeks, just 2 weeks. It was non-stop work, you know. I was making a new sequences every day, like sequence, melody sequence. And finally I did it.
Yes, and so that was last summer, right? So that was 2020.
Yeah, last summer.
Yeah, and you streamed the set in September 2020. I already
Yeah.
told you, like, there's one track that I particularly love, and
Thank you.
How long did it take you end to end to prepare the entire set? Because it takes a lot of work. You also use modulars a lot, so
Yeah.
it
2
does
weeks,
take a lot of work.
Just 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, and there was a track as well that I think you mentioned is getting released, or it was released on Lyre, labeled by Valerio Polani.
Valerio, yeah.
Yes, and you released that, I think, a couple of months later. How did you meet Valerio? How did you start having discussion with him?
To be honest, I don't remember correctly, but I met him in the Facebook, I think, in the chat. We talked about my music, and after I met him personally in the Grismulam, where I played the DJ set, we meet also after DJ set, and yeah, now we are good friends. After he books me at About Blank in the Berlin at his party's Disconnect.
Yes.
Yeah, but party is postponed. Really great party with VSK and CJ Boland. So, and after we started to talk about my music, and he started a label, and I give him some tracks for the first various artists with VSK, Congrad Van Norton, and the Novak. And after we started to talk about my EP, and yeah, I sent him some material, and also he chose this track from my live set, because when I start to work with live set, I at the first etap I send a small cut of the light to Valerio. So yeah, and he liked this track so much, and when I finish the live set and I play it, he chose this track and other tracks what I sent him.
That's super interesting, and I think the track you ended up releasing is LSD. It's called LSD, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, very interesting track too. Like,
oh, thank you.
I really like personally the way you use you have a very driving, very clean but powerful bass and low end, but also you use a lot of I don't know how to describe it, but it's more like hypnotic melodies, but they're also quite interesting because it's not just a very regular melody. There is some stuff.
Yeah.
Like the way you use pitch bending is very interesting. Makes the track engaging and also fresh. They sound very, very interesting and unique.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And is there, like, when you look at producing your tracks, do you have a way to express what you have in your mind? Like, do you write what you have in mind, or you just jam until you find something that's interesting?
It depends on my mood, you know. Sometimes I have some idea or some sequence or melody, and I'm trying to build this melody on my sequencer. Sometimes I'm starting in my laptop with sequences, and after I'm go to my modular and make the same sequences on the modular, and sometimes it sounds much better. But sometimes, it's a jam. You know, I like the last tracks what I sent to you. If you see, it was a lot of the random affixed sounds.
Yeah.
And I like to make big jumps, and after I record these jumps and resampling it in Ableton and make the random sounds. And it's depends on my mood, but sometimes I'm in a struggle when I write music because, for me, it's really hard to finish the music. I can make it 2 or 3 minutes, and after I'm starting in a new beat, and yeah, it's it's now finished, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, also I'm making a lot of the material, like sometimes I make more Detroit stuff, sometimes more hypno, and sometimes I make some new, what I think sounds new, but I'm not sure of myself when I make some new tunes what sounds fresh, because yeah, you know, it's also new for me, and sometimes I think maybe it's not work for playing or something, and yeah.
Do you have a lot of unreleased tracks at the moment?
Sorry, what?
Do you tend to accumulate a lot of unreleased material?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I think like what you're saying is also that sometimes you create stuff that you might not think it would fit on a label, but then you have you ever thought
Yeah,
about
yeah.
starting
I also never think about labels, you know, and I never sent the demo tracks to label.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. I don't think about it because the main thing why I make music, because I just want to make it, you know.
Yes.
And it's all I'm making it. And after, if someone writes me, "Hey, I like your music, can you send me stuff?" I give him demos or something like this.
Got it. Yeah. It's a very interesting approach, and I think it means that you probably do that because it's fun. And you almost have to do it. Like, do you like from what you're saying? You wake up in the morning and the first thing you think is, "I want to fucking make music. Fuck everything."
Yeah, for sure.
It's a beautiful thing. Did you? Can you think about a moment in your life when you started adopting this mindset, or like, or was something that was always there for you about thinking, "I want to make music"?
Um, yeah, I think, yeah. You know, I'm starting to collecting and listen music at the age of 15 or 16. I remember my first tunes, more beaming and sound by Regis and Sardion.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed by the sounds. And I started to make music at age of 16. And yeah, it was not so good. But after years, I realized what I really want to make a great stuff. And yeah, I'm still music since since now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's super interesting. And the way, so when you were 16, you were already thinking, I want to make music more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
music. And DJing came around the same time, I imagine. That you wanted to DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DJ came a little bit after, in the age of 18. Yeah.
Got it. And I think that was also the time you started playing at KHIDI. And
Yeah.
also the other very interesting thing for me is also I've been to Tbilisi and I found it amazing. Like I was with friends there from local friends, and I found it very, very warm, welcoming as a place. Amazing experience. Even like being there without going to clubs. Everybody who's been into Tbilisi, who's into electronic music, has been to KHIDI or Bassiani, and they loved it. Were you ever surprised that Tbilisi basically became this massive techno city in the last couple of years, very fast?
To be honest, I wasn't surprised. Yeah, because I'm looking for this for a big time, and I remember a parties when was like 100 people, 200 people, so small parties, and yeah, it's comes more bigger and bigger after times, and you know, it's something. Every country has a peak time, I think. You know, many people are talking what Tbilisi, it's a new Berlin or something like this. I can't tell why, because it's a new spirit here, you know, it's something new for people, and people are really enjoying this. And yeah, I think it's a really amazing scene and an amazing vibe. When I'm playing here, you can feel it very good. But yeah, I'm not surprised, to be honest.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I've observed when I was there is that generally people in Georgia, dancers who go to parties, I remember that everybody kind of knows the names of the tracks, the track IDs. Everybody's very into the music. Everybody listens very carefully to the music, to the person who is playing. And I found it interesting because sometimes, like, I think in places like Berlin, London, it's not always true that, like, people give, it's kind of given that you can go to dance every Saturday. It's always been like this. So not everybody enjoys that at the same way that, like, Georgians tend to do in practice. Do you think that, like, because it's more new and fresh, it attracted more people to be listening more to the music?
Yeah, I think it's a new interest. It's just like a new interest for the people, you know. I think that's all.
Yeah, interesting. And there was also an event that was organized in August by KHIDI and Bastiani together. I think it was called Hypersonic Festival.
Yeah, Hypersonic.
Yeah, and I think you played there. It was last year in the middle of pandemic.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about, like, the event, like how it happened?
Yeah, sure. It was a little bit unexpected for me, to be honest. The first thing is because it was summer. It was one of the biggest parties in the Georgia, and was a COVID time. Like everything is closed in the whole world, and we made a big festival here. And the second thing why it was unexpected, because Bastiani and KHIDI, I think it's a still big concurrence between these clubs. And yeah, it was like a reunion for the safe scene. And yeah, it was great festival. Yeah, I enjoyed.
Yeah, that's super interesting, especially when the scene is in a difficult moment because of COVID. Clubs can't be open, and they get together. It's beautiful to see that people get together and they host an event together for people for the same scene.
Yeah.
Do you remember, like, was there anything special or different from the usual club scene that you have experienced before because of this new situation when KHIDI and Bastiani were together?
I don't remember really.
Yeah. No worries. And no worries. And tell me more about the local scene in Tbilisi. Like, how do you guys? Is it very supportive? You guys support each other a lot, like in terms of the artists?
Sure. You know, here a lot of the upcoming artists here, and a lot of good artists already. And I always support the new guys, and I always give them my advice. So I think we have a really good new generation, and artists like Uwal. He's making really good stuff. Abstractor, really good artists who make hypnotic techno. Cometofar, really good DJ. And yeah, we have a lot of the young and good artists here upcoming. Yeah. And also I support everyone on this scene because I'm really happy what we have so many artists here.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, like, how artists can support each other, because that's key for the development.
It's really very important, I think, you know, because I remember myself when I was 18 years old, and when I made my first track and I released it at HoS Collective, I remember when some artists of some big names wrote me. The first who wrote me, it was Reka from Semantica, and yeah, he likes my work so much, and I think it was the biggest support for me at this time. And after, I remember how Setaukmas writes me also, and I was so happy because I was very young, like 18 years old, and it was my first track and first release. And yeah, it's really important to support artists. Yeah.
Super important. And also, like, as you said, like when any other artist takes the time to share their feedback, or to say, oh, I loved your music, I love the track, it is important for the other person because it shows support that you feel like, fuck.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Is there any other artists that you have exchanged emails, you have supported each other aside from Setauk and Sreka in the last couple of years?
Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of the artists, I think, a lot of people are playing with my music and always write me, so you're making good stuff. You know, when I was young, in the age of 17 or 18, it was a little bit unbelievable for me, you know, when someone plays my music on the big stage or someone wrote me making amazing stuff. The artists like Stalkmas or Sreka or Matrix Man or Ben Sims, you know. And I remember, a lot of the support. I remember a lot of the support from the big artists, and I think techno community one of the best in these things. Yeah, it's a very friendly scene, and I allow it so much. Yeah,
it's true, and that's another thing like that I've always experienced myself. Also, physically in London, there is a very supportive scene where I was surprised because I came from Rome, Italy, where the scene is not that supportive with each other. And in London, everybody's like, "Oh, you're doing a party? I'll come and see you play." You know, like everybody like that. It's amazing, and you share tracks, you share feedback. Do you have like any close producer friends that you share tracks with and you give feedback?
I have a lot of producer friends for sure, but I'm really very rarely share my stuff with others. Yeah, for sure. If I have some finished works, I always send music so you can play it or something like this. But I never send my unfinished projects. I don't know why. Yeah, maybe sometimes, you know, maybe sometimes when I'm not sure of myself, I'm asking for someone. So how it sounds, yeah,
it's very personal. Like I've seen a lot of people who love sharing, and others who are like, you know, I don't care so much about getting people.
Yeah, for sure. When I have an already finished stuff, or I have a promo or some stuff when I want to release soon, I always share with my friends. Yeah, every time. But with unfinished tracks, I have I don't know.
You don't like to share it so much.
Yeah, unfinished, no.
Yeah. And so one of the other things that I wanted to ask you is back-to-back in DJing. You make a couple of back-to-backs already. If you could choose any person in the world, alive or not, and play the back-to-back with, who would be that person?
Definitely, it's Oscar Mulero and Jeff Mills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, and why do they come to mind?
These two persons are really a biggest inspiration for me as a DJ, really. And because we are just amazing DJs, you know, when mixing skills are so high and so good and so different. But to be honest, I'm not big fan of the B2Bs in the case, because you know, it's a little bit hard for me to play with someone, because I like the very fast mixing. I like to mix the 3 tracks together, and I can't stop while I'm playing. You know, when I play a DJ set, I can't stop 5 minutes and waiting for someone when he mixes 2 tracks. It's really, I just can't. And also it's hard for me because I can't control the whole set. You know, I really like to control all my sets because every set is prepared, and I work on it so much, and I concentrate on my dynamic, and it's hard to control it when you play back to back with someone.
Definitely it's hard, especially if you never played with that person before. Like, it's gonna be super complicated to do a set.
Yeah, for sure.
And sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it just
sometimes it works so good, because I remember 1 or 2 good B2Bs in my life. One with resident of our club is a Vulkansky. We played at Hypersonic together. It was really super good back to back, because we have the same taste of in music.
Yeah.
And I remember my first back-to-back was with Cleric in the HIDI, but I think he doesn't remember me. I remember he was finishing the set and I asked him, if you're tired, we can play back-to-back or something like this. And yeah, we played the last hour. B2B, it was really super good. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes like, it happens and it's beautiful when it's that good, spontaneous and good. Yeah. And I read in one of your interviews, like you just released an interview with Muno, who was a Polish publication, and you said in that interview that you never stop, and that sometimes that ruins you and it's hard for you to not stop. Do you do anything to bring some balance in your life outside of music and the work you do?
I'm so unbalanced in this thing, I just can't catch the right balance with work and rest, I just don't remember when I take a good rest. I mean, without music, like I just can't, for me, it's like a cup of water to open the program and starting working on the music. Yeah. It's, yeah. And I'm working every time. I'm working like 4 or 5 hours or 8 hours every day.
Oh no, yeah.
And
on the music.
Sometimes the artist can be creative every time.
Yeah.
And I'm really disappointed sometimes when I work 3 or 4 hours and I can't make like good sequence or something. Yeah, I'm so disappointed. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, but I never stop, and I'm opening program again and started to make it again and again. Yeah.
Yeah, and is there like for example, like how do you do with your friends? For example, if your friends ask you, "Hey, Irakli, let's go for a beer," or "Let's go for,"
Hello, friends. So I think now I saw this video and it's I don't have time for this. I never sent him. So yeah, I'm working now. And sometimes I go out of my home, maybe once in the month or something like this, and I see the friends. But yeah, I'm never go out of my home.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you are an active producer, it's a little bit hard to have a social life, I think, because you're working, you can't see the friends, you don't have time for it, and yeah, you have a passion with music to make something, and you are making and making and making. And yeah, I feel sorry, but I can't see my friends sometimes. Sorry.
I love that. It's very honest and I think
but I think they know this thing about me and nobody's surprised.
Yeah. Do you have a like? I find that out sometimes when I have friends or let's say my girlfriend, and I want to do music, and like it's hard for me to say no. Sometimes I feel like I want to go out with them as well to take care of them, my family, my close friends. Like, how do you tell them no? I want to do music.
So I tell how I'm what?
How do you tell them no? How do when they ask you?
I'm just tell.
Irakli, I really want to see you.
So I just tell them that I have work or I'm tired today, or I just can't. They know what I'm not going out of home, and every time I'm working. Yeah, it's okay for them, and I think understood me. Good.
Yeah, and I think eventually they understand the respect.
Yeah,
you made a choice. Yeah, super cool, man. Let me ask you a question that let's try to dig something in your past experiences. What has been one of the biggest mistakes that you think you have done so far in your music career?
I think I don't have mistakes yet. Yeah, I really don't remember any mistakes in my career because I don't know. I'm just I'm just playing and I'm just make music, and yeah, it's all. So
there's no mistake in that. It's like,
yeah, maybe I'm so young and I don't have it yet, but yeah, now I don't have any mistakes.
yeah, I mean, it's of course like it's very different for everyone, and it's interesting to know, like, for you the music, it is the real focus, and it is very inspiring as well to hear that. So yeah, big up, keep going with that.
Thanks.
I'm gonna there is a lot of people who were like saying hi on Facebook. They're writing messages, guys. If
Oh,
you have
really?
any questions for Irakli, yes. And I think if you have any questions for Irakli, type them in the comments of the Facebook chat, so we can try to ask them to Irakli in the next couple of minutes. And one question, Irakli, for you from my side is, do you have
Sure.
any projects you're working on at the moment, like anything interesting for the next 6 months or 12 months?
Yeah, I have some upcoming EPs and a lot of the various artist works. Like one EP, one upcoming EP at Lira with VSK remix.
Very cool.
Yeah, what includes a lot of, not a lot, like 2 or 3 tracks from my live set. I have a lot of the various artists. I have one upcoming various artists at wait, I forgot what name of the label. Planet, it's a label by Messia Hertz, Planet MHZ, with Kaiser, Augusto Tahiti, and Draug. It's wanna be out 1st June, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I also finishing some music from various artists for Semantica.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I also working on my own label. I want to release a new fresh material from the young artists, and also I work at one that one EP. Yeah, more.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of, wow.
Yeah, a lot of the
you're
upcoming. Yeah.
Well, I'm really interested in a few of the ones you mentioned. So what's the name of the one? Planet MH or from Messia?
Yeah, yes.
MHS, okay. From Messia
White.
Yeah, well, okay. Very cool. And is that announced yet or not yet?
No, it's not announced yet.
Very cool. So we will include in the show notes when it comes out. And you also said you're launching your own label. Did I hear correctly?
Yeah.
Wow.
I want to start it soon. I'm collecting some stuff and material right now. And yeah, let's see. I want to start it digital, because I think we have a really deficit of the music in the industry, because yeah, we don't have so much good music today, I think. And I want to release more music, more new music to play. Yeah.
Got it. And so you think that there is more need for good music out, and that's why you're starting your label, right? So
yeah.
Are you gonna focus only on Georgian artists and your music?
Yeah, for sure, with Georgian artists and also international artists.
Nice. It's very good to hear. And do you have any timeline, any dates that when you think you're gonna launch it?
No, still not yet.
Yeah, I would love to know when you decide to launch it. So we will also share it from our side.
Yeah, for sure.
Very cool to hear the music. I'm looking forward to that. There is a question from someone in the audience. Nitsa is asking, what gives you the inspiration the most when you're producing music?
Ooh. I think I take inspiration from a lot of things. Sometimes it's someone's music. When you're listening for the music for a young new artist, I'm really inspired by this, because we're making really crazy stuff. And also, from everything, I think from everything what's happening around me, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. So yeah.
Yeah. Do you have bad days? So for example, do you ever wake up? Yeah. And how do you cope with those? So is there a day when you wake up and you feel like, oh shit, I feel crap, I don't want the music?
I'm still making it,
Yeah.
Because I'm very neutral person, I'm not so happy sometimes, but I don't so best too. I'm very neutral and I balance these things.
Got it. So you would sit and do music anyways, even when you feel shit, right?
Yeah.
So even there's does your mood change after that? For example, let's say you wake up, you feel shit, then you start doing music. Do you feel better after that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. If it works good, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you think in a way like the inspiration comes from making music?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've spoken with a lot of artists, and then sometimes like people will go for walks. Sometimes people are not next year also changes the setup. He takes the deck and moves it.
Yeah. It's also a very big inspiration. Yeah, when you have some new gear or some new models, yeah, it's really inspired, and you can make more new stuff, and yeah, a lot of things.
Yeah. Was there in particular any gear that you have bought lately that gave you some inspiration for your tracks?
Modular, definitely, it's modular. So yeah, it's modular, and I work on it every time, and I want to build another rack now. I already choose some models for new rack. Yeah, and I want to buy maybe some old synthesizers, what I really want to buy for a long time, Oberheim. I'm looking for it very time. Yeah. So let's see, I don't know.
Very, very cool. And that so modular is your focus. Like I've seen you playing the live set. I've seen you how you play it. You have it in front, like next to you. It is. It's never gonna end up like it's never gonna end. You're always gonna have new models to get.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Exactly.
Yes. Another question from Gautam. Who are your favorite new producers and new labels?
Favorite new producers, definitely one of the best producers for me right now. It's Alex Morgan from the Manchester. A great producer. Yeah. I like his stuff so much. Quetzal from France.
Yeah.
Decoder. I like so much. Assumption. Chris Jai. Krawa.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to write down these names. I want to check.
Markel. Also, Lisa selected, and I can't remember everyone.
Yeah. Do you remember any specific track from one of them that was?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I remember one track from Alex Morgan. It's called, I think, Omega, or I don't remember what. And I remember really cool tracks from the Decoder. It's with another alias Kratan. Yeah, but I don't remember the name, but it was something with the numbers. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Very interesting. I'm gonna make sure that we check them out. And there is a question from Billy. What's your favorite module in your system?
I like them all, to be honest. But yeah, I think my favorite oscillator is by Endorphins. It's filter generator, and I'm a big fan of the My filter. It's a filter by Rosum Electro Music. It's an analog of the Moog filters, and I'm really big fans of the Deflector Shield. It's a phaser module with amazing effects.
Deflector Shield.
Deflector Shield. It's by Synthesis Technology.
Wow, sounds German technology. I'm writing them down, so yeah, we can post them also for people who are interested. Very cool. And there's a question from OTHR: Pepsi or cola?
Cola for sure.
Yeah. Why cola? Yeah, you're drinking cola. Yes, and you say that you drink cola in the morning.
Because it's better.
Yes. Diet or full normal cola?
Normal cola for sure, classic.
Yeah. And have you tried zero?
Yeah, but I don't like it.
You don't like it, no? It's a classic. You just go for the classic one, cola. Nice. and then,
Wait.
Yeah, go for it. One more question from my side as we go toward the wrap up. If you had $1,000 to donate to a charity, what charity would you pick, and why would you pick them?
I think were ill people who had a cancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And I really want to make some like a fundraiser, various artists to help with people with charity, with cancer. Yeah, I think and I think I want to do it in the future.
That's very cool. Yeah, let us know if you decide to do it, maybe with your label or the fundraising.
Yeah, sure.
Also help repost. Very interesting. And who is a guest that you think HoS Sound should really speak with, and why?
I want to see here Blawan or Regis. Yeah, because so really interesting figures at techno scene. Yeah,
very very interesting. What would be a question you would ask to Blawan, for example, if we had
oh I don't know really. How he compress sounds so good.
I like the question. The compression secrets.
Yeah, the compression secrets of the sounds. Yeah, of the Blawan.
Okay,
and also sound design secrets too.
Yeah, and what about Regis? What would you ask Regis?
I think I asked him about something about the sound design also. Yeah. Because I'm really big fan. Yeah.
Gonna finish. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm really big fan of the Birmingham sound. Yeah.
Yeah. There's something so like the tracks are like simple, but actually not very simple. They're really.
Yeah.
I guess if you don't pay a lot of attention, they sound very simple and basic. There's not much crazy stuff going on. However, by the construction of them, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I would be really interested in that too, Regis. And
so yeah.
Irakli, last couple of questions from the audience.
Yeah, sure.
There is a person who's asking, what do you think is the most important thing for artists who want to make music and want to perform out?
Yeah, I think the most important is to be unique. Yeah, to be unique, to make something new in industry, and make something different when you are playing, to offer for listeners some new tracks and new sets, or if you are playing live sets. Yeah, it's really important to be unique and work hard. And also I remember a lot of the people, a lot of the artists ask when I talk with a lot of the artists and we're talking about the music production of something, many people say, so I need a motivation or something like this. And I really don't understand these people. So motivation for what? And if you want to make music, just do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just do it.
I really agree. You reminded me of one of my favorite inspirations, Elon Musk, the guy who invented SpaceX, who launched SpaceX.
Yeah.
And did a couple of other companies. And I remember watching a video of him saying, if you need motivation to be an entrepreneur, to create something, I think you should not create it. Just like, do something.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree. Yeah. So yeah, very interesting. Thank you. And one question from Nikusha. Are you thinking to get vaccinated, or do you think in Georgia they're going to be artists or vaccine passports for artists to be able to play?
Yeah, for sure. I will do a vaccine soon, as soon as it will be possible. And I don't know about the COVID passports, but so yeah, if situation when needs the passport, so I wanna get it. Why not?
Got it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it seems like every country gonna have a different timeline on this. I just hope that like things are gonna get better soon, and yeah, for everyone. Okay, so one more question, which is, what question would you like me to ask one of our next guests without knowing who they're gonna be?
If you had the chance in your life to listen with only one track, which one?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, one loop in the whole life.
Wow. Very interesting question. Hard, not easy to answer. And as you might imagine, there is a question from our previous guest for you. And the question is, do you prefer pre-gig nap or pre-gig snack? So before playing, would you sleep or would you eat something?
Oh, okay.
One of the two.
For sure, sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleep because it's more intense. Like the gig is gonna.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you drink Coca-Cola, you don't need to eat much anyway. So you can keep drinking.
Yeah, for sure.
For days.
I never eat before sets. Yeah. All I need is a good sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Irakli, it has been a great pleasure to have you. Fun conversation. I'm really inspired by your focus on your music.
Same. Thank you so much.
I love that. And any upcoming projects, or if nothing to announce in this case, but like where people should connect with you, where should people check your work?
Yeah, people can check my work on my SoundCloud, I think, or the Facebook, or maybe Instagram. Projects, I don't know, I think about many projects, many musician projects. I want to start work with some folk music, maybe with folk Georgian music. So I want to make a mix with some experimental drum and bass and some folk sounds in the future. Yeah, let's see. And some upcoming works, and I think I will drop a new live in the summer, in the autumn. Yeah.
Very cool. You're working on that? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Looking forward to that. And sorry, you were saying something else, and then in the autumn.
Yeah. in autumn or the end of the summer. I think more autumn, in September.
Yeah, very much looking forward to that, and I know a lot of people are as well. So yeah, man, thank you for being with us. It's been a pleasure. Great to meet you as well. I hope we're gonna meet in person at some point soon.
Sure.
And thank you, and thanks everyone.
Thank you for inviting.
Our pleasure.
Goodbye, and thanks everyone.
Bye, guys. See you next time. Hello, this is Joseph again. If you made it this far into the podcast, we would love to hear your feedback, and you can leave any comments anonymously or with your name, and also suggest whom we should interview next via the link bit.ly/HOS_feedback. Basically, bit.ly HOS_feedback. If you're a creator or work in music, you can also check our website www.homeofsound.co.uk for on-demand masterclasses with creators such as Ansom, Scarameria, François X, Swarm Intelligence, Freddie K, Face Fatal, Vijay Martinovna, Malika Maria, Lag, BSK, Romek, Manny D, Arjun Bagale, and many, many more. And again, thank you for listening, engaging, and being with us home. Until next time.